Okay, we're on part 2 of the veal stew with Quinces. What they want us to do is fill a bowl with cold water and add the lemon juice, which is the juice of 1 lemon. I've already done that. Now I have these quinces out here, and what they want us to do is to quarter and core each of them. I have never cooked with these or had these, so this is going to be new for me. We'll do one at a time. Now they want you to core these just like an apple, except they're harder. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. They said they're good as long as they don't get soft. So, at least I know that much about them. And then, they don't say peel them. They say core them and drop them into the lemon water. Treat it like an apple. I'm just trying to cut the core out. You see that little piece right there? That's what I'm trying to get out. It's just like the apple core. They are hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. They are hard. See, I have a core, but these are so hard, I just don't think I'm going to be able to do. I'm not going to tell you these things are easy to do, core. They are not. They fight you. Well, I think you have to put them in lemon juice because they're going to sit there and turn colors quickly. By the way, I couldn't find these in the store. I actually had to order these through Amazon. Like persimmons, you can't always find persimmons. And what I hate is the stores shop with distributors. If you don't know this, I might as well bring it to your attention. Distributors decide what your area can have. If it doesn't sell, the distributor will not go to the company and ask for it. So you have to go somewhere else. This is where Amazon does quite well because the stores are dictating to what people can cook and what they can make. But Amazon says, if you want it, we'll get it. You know? God, these things don't want to give. So some stuff that you actually see, I have had to sit there and go to Amazon and get, and then walk around and find somebody to get other stuff. If they can't, then I have to order it from Amazon. Stores should take a cue from them. Because the one thing was, I grew up as the customer is always right. So in other words, if they wanted something, and if you wanted the business and stay in business, you didn't sit there and tell them, we don't carry it. You sit there and say, we'll try to get it for you. But the distributors now have so much power, and that's where the stores go, or to the distributors. The businesses that make the food and make things, the distributors go to them. That's why they're known as the middleman, and they decide what an area is going to get or not get, which I don't like. If I want something, I ask for it. You know? I mean, I have a lovely butcher, Staten Island Meats, and I asked them could they get quail. They said, if you want it, we'll look for it and get it for you. So see, that's what you want. That's good business sense. But stores feel that distributors feel they can control us as a people. It's all fighting for control. And we're supposed to be running the show. Look how these seeds are packed. They're really packed tight. I wonder what they taste like. Raw. So if you want to know why you can't get things, at least you know it's the middleman. It's not the store's fault. It's the distributors. And the distributors don't talk to people. They're like isolated from us. I got a hold of one distributor and he said, we don't carry it. I said, would you please order from him? He said, it doesn't sell, so therefore we're not going to get it. I said, what? And that's what it's like with distributors. You go to the businesses, they tell you to go to the distributors. The distributors control. So if your neighborhood is going down and you can't find what you want, you can thank the distributors for that. And if a neighborhood's coming up but it hasn't come up enough to get what you want, you gotta realize you're gonna have to go out and get it from somewhere else. All right. So we dropped them into the lemon water. Okay, we're gonna need a large skillet for the next part. Hence a large skillet. Now, a large skillet, heat the remaining 6 tablespoons of oil. Pat the quinces dry. Well, let me get 6 tablespoons of oil in here. And I did not bring out the oil. Good show, girl. It's not gonna work. Because your oil is not cold. Good. Very good. I thought it was frozen. So put 6 tablespoons into a large frying pan. And then we'll move to the next step. I know you can't bring you over here right now because I've got other stuff here. Okay. Let me start moving stuff around. And all right. Okay. You gotta go back to the quinces again. Now that we've done that, they want you to take these quarters and have them lengthways. So that's what they want right now. I'll get them back in the water, don't worry. I just want to make sure I get them all done. So you're cutting them lengthways. Well, at least I can say the water made them a little softer. I thought I got all the color out. I didn't. Please be careful and do not cut your fingers. Put them back in the water for a minute. We're going to need a towel. You're going to dry them now. You can turn the heat on your oil. How hot do they want it? Okay, we're going to pat these dry. Okay, I'm game to cut this one out. Well, they bruise like an apple, okay? Just letting you know. It does bruise like an apple. I was doing some cooking yesterday with this towel and I stuck it in the bathroom because it was soaking wet from drying leaves for the salad yesterday, so I hung it up because I knew I was going to be using it today. Now if I can get this out of the way. Take your veal out of the refrigerator. I have mine right here. I have not done anything with it yet. Now what we're going to do with these is we are going to saute them. And we're going to do them in batches, and as they turn colors, we're going to sit there and put them to the side. Let's see if I can get you over here without spilling everything. so you can see what I'm doing. Now we're just going to wait for them to turn colors, and that's it. We'll take them out. We'll finish them up later. I'm going to put this on the plate. Okay. Now they say you have to continually stir these. We're not putting them all in, but we're doing batches. And they'll start to turn color, and that's when they said you'll know. Oh, sorry, you were on the towel. I grabbed the towel. Almost like cooking apples. This was a treat we used to love to do too. Eat the apples like this in butter and put some seasonings and put them over ice cream. That's another way of using apples. I just don't want to get burnt. They have an unusual smell. You know what? They say it's really expensive. No, I'm going to use so I can turn these. Oh, it's going to give me a time. That's what they want. They want them brown. You see that? These little mothers do not want to flip. Okay, stay there. Oh, that one's really brown. As you can say, slippery little buggers. They do not want to flip. I'm just going to put them on their side. I'm going to go put my carrots back. Careful, they do pop. I can actually feel them popping. I might try doing these like apples and putting it on vanilla ice cream and see how it goes. But I've never had the fruit, and I've got 2 more. They only wanted 4 for the recipe. And you can't tell me that wouldn't look pretty on ice cream. If you use the cinnamon and stuff, you can have beautiful flavors. Okay, you're not going to flip. You're going to flip my way or no way. see why you need different utensils? I tried with a spoon, I tried with a spatula, and it came down to this. So you're not always sure. So my husband always made sure I had a lot of different equipment to work with, one way or another. You're going to take this oil and you're going to throw it out. That's exactly what they told us to do. So I put it in the measuring cup. I'm going to turn this off a minute and see what we have to do next before we go much further. All right, you need a half a cup of sweet wine. I've been tasting wine all night. You want to deglaze your pot. Deglaze means to get the particles and anything that's stuck to the pan up. And that's what we're doing now, is deglazing. If there's any sugar or anything there, we're deglazing it into this wine. And this is sweet wine that we just put in a half a cup. Okay, now that we've deglazed this, they want us to set this to the side. Listen, I'm just going to run out of room. So you deglaze the pan, you have it sitting there, don't touch it. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna have to put you back here again, okay? I've got a few things I have to do, and you're just in my way right now. So I'll tell you what we're doing. We don't need this anymore. What you're going to do, I got my pot here, so I'm actually going to have to tell you what I'm doing now. You're going to take the breast out. If you're like me, you have two of them, or you're going to take the breast out. I'm taking the gel off of it right now. You'll see the gel sitting on it. Okay, there's one. Okay. Now you're gonna put this pot on with the onions and everything in it, and you're gonna cook it down till there's only fat in it. And the onions are just falling apart. I can't believe that. Okay, so we'll leave them. Now, what they want you to do with this, if you have one big veal, they want you to cut it in fourths. I have two, so I'm just going to cut them in half. These are the serving sizes that you're going to be serving it with. Come on, Sandra. Okay. And we're going to boil the liquid out of there, and all we want is fat left in that pot that we cooked the breast of veal in. I'm just trying to make some room right now. Okay. So we deployed the frying pan and it's sitting on the side, and we have to cook all this down. So there's only going to be fat in there, and they said it should take about, hold on. They said to put it on high heat until it's evaporated and you only have fat remaining in the pot, 10 to 15 minutes. And then what we're going to do is take the fat, and we're going to sit there and we're going to brown the veal that we have in it. All right, so now I can move you back over here. I had a few things I had to do. I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see, but we'll work at it. So put this on high and just let it go to town. I don't know if I should take the onions out. They didn't say to. But the onions are going to fry. I do that, they're going to fry. Do they want the onions fried? They don't say to do anything except, you know, reduce it to where we get rid of all this liquid, and all we're going to have is fat in it, and then we're going to fry these pieces. So I guess the onions are going to be part of the frying process. Oh well. I would take it out. They don't say do anything with it. I'm trying one of these. They have the texture of apple. Oh, that would be good. I'm thinking. You know, we fry these up like this. Hear me out. And put seasonings with them for the pie. It would be a thick pie. You wouldn't have to. This would be mostly a cooked crust. And we could cook those with the seasonings and syrup and sugar and put it in the pie. We could make a quince pie. It has good flavor. It's not real overpowering. That'd be interesting. Or we put all the seasonings together after we cook them like this. Put them in the pot and put a lattice topping on top of it, and then bake it. That's got to be good. I gotta try that. because they have the texture of an apple. You have to treat them a little different to prepare them, you know, before you put them in the pie. That's good. I'm not going to eat any more, I promise. But those are very, very, very interesting. I just thought of a pie to make, and I've never heard of anybody making a pie. Maybe in Europe they do. That would be interesting. Just like an apple. The only thing is you could not put them in raw. You would have to cook them first before you put them into the pie. It'd be a real problem. It's an interesting concept. See, this is what happens when you know what you're doing in the kitchen and you try different recipes. You find ways of making them more nutritious. You find ways of, wait a minute, can I make a pie with this? Maybe I should be able to make fried pies. Could I use this in cookies? I mean, your mind starts going there. And you know, if we cook it like this and strain them or blend them up, we could make a sauce out of them. My mind's ticking, as you can see. But this is how I think. I take an idea, or I'll take a recipe, and then I say, look, I got to do something with this, you know? And that's what I do. I start thinking, what could I do with this fruit or this vegetable or this meat? Can we do it a little different? What about trying it this way? Like, I think we should be able to, most people have beef hamburgers or buffalo hamburgers, turkey hamburgers. What about veal or lamb hamburgers? You know, I just go there all the time. So summer coming up, which is in about, what, 6 months. I should have been thinking about this during the summer. But I'm thinking about it, you know. And if I can get rabbit, I could grind it up and make rabbit hamburgers. And we usually call them hares, not rabbits. Bunny rabbits are your pets. Hares are wild ones, and bunnies are, I think, they're actually bred to eat. And so there's different terms that you can use. But I think that would be a great idea. I'm going to try it. If you stick around on my channel long enough, you will see me trying to make an effort. It's going to be the flop, or we're going to have something going. But let me finish cooking this down, and I'll be back. Okay, the liquid's out, and now I'm browning these. Put them in and brown them. The onions actually drape down, so you don't have to take the onions out. They actually broke down. see that's browning very nicely. It's going to take about 5 minutes for it to brown. So just be patient. Oh yeah, you can see the onions are caramelizing. And you can see everything's really moving right along. I'll just let it brown and I will be back. Okay, they said add 8 pieces of these quinces. I'm going to be going back and forth because I have to get all this ready. We're going to pour this wine in. You need a half a cup of dry wine. I was tasting wines all morning to make sure I get the right ones. We need, how many? 5 apricots. Now, if you have prunes, you can use prunes or apricots, but they want 5 in here. Oh, let's just get this stuff out of the way. 1 teaspoon of Aleppo pepper. Aleppo. I hope I have a teaspoon. Yeah, if I scrape it all out, I got it. If you don't have this, they said you can use red pepper flakes. You want a whole teaspoon of it. And this has to be a little small. You want 1 cinnamon stick. You need 1 bay leaf. Do not crush it up because we're going to have to take it out. So if you're like me and you like to crush yours, do not crush it. A half a teaspoon of crushed allspice, whole allspice. And they want you to crush them in a mortar and pestle, so you're going to need that. I'm going to turn this down before it boils. Right. While I get this, hold on. Wanted them crushed, not ground. And 1.5 cups of chicken stock. I'm getting there, just give me time. Okay, where's the black pepper? Well, that's it, the other part, okay. And we're gonna add salt to this. They don't tell you how much salt. Where did I put my salt container? Oh dang, here I go again, losing things. I thought I took that out. Now they say salt to taste, but I have no idea how much salt to put in. So I'll put that in and adjust it accordingly as we go through this dish. Lid. Now what are we going to do? I can tell you, you're going, a little later on, we're going to need red wine vinegar, freshly ground black pepper, and fresh parsley. So we will need those after a while, but I'm trying to see what else we have to do. It just says bring to a boil, reduce heat to low, cover and simmer for 45 minutes. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I will see you when we get to the next part. Okay? Wait till you see what we're going to serve with it. It's going to, I think I'm going to serve it with polenta, currants, and onion. So I'll show you that when we get there. Okay, it's been 45 minutes now. You're going to have to sort of look over everything that I'm doing because I have the blender here. I need the blender. You're going to need a platter. And I am going to be crowded. Try to pick these up carefully. I'm going to lay them on a platter. I'll show you how it looks in a bit. After we finish this, we'll be making the cornmeal that goes with this, better known as polenta. Okay, get that out of the way. Put this to the side, which I'm going to do. We need a spoon now. We have to find the cinnamon stick and the bay leaf and take it out. Well, that wasn't too hard to find. All right. Now everything in this pot is going into your blender. First I want to get these out so I don't splatter it on me. Never leave your blender plugged in until you put the lid on it. I learned that from my mother and her escapades in the kitchen. Make sure I get all these drippings. I have to move you. I'm going to knock you over. Anyway, I'm going to pour all the drippings into the blender. Once you put the lid on, then you can plug it in. Because by accident, if you hit a button and it's hot, you will burn yourself like my mother did. Support it. You know, I don't even use this blender this much. I know my old one quite well, but this one I don't know. All right, let's. pot. Give me a minute. Return to the pot and add the remaining, okay. Put it back into the pot. You know something? It did not blend everything up. Well, I guess there's some pieces that just don't blend, but it is good. Okay, now with that, we're going to add 4 more apricots to the sauce. If you're using prunes, add 4 more prunes. You're also going to be adding okay. You know these quint pieces? Add them to it. I don't know why they want me to add it to it now. And they want us to simmer them for like a few minutes. Because we're going to be putting them under the broiler, believe it or not. They want them to simmer for about 15 minutes or until they are soft but not mushy. Then we're going to transfer them to a small baking pan in a single layer, and we are going to keep them warm. So you're just going to simmer these, and that's on a low heat for 15 minutes. I can tell you one thing, they do taste good. I'm surprised. Do they want it covered? No. Put the lid on simmer. I think we're just really just warming them up a bit. Now we need a small baking dish, because we're going to put them under the broiler. So be aware they're going into the broiler, and in that aspect, it cannot be glass. It's going to have to be a metal. And you're going to have to layer them singular. You don't want them doubled or anything, because we're going to sprinkle sugar on them, and we're going to put them under the broil, so they're going to crystallize some. This is why we're just simmering them right now, to get them a little more soft before we go to that stage. Okay, now we're ready to do the next part. We are going to take the quinces out of here. We're going to put them in a single layer in this pan. They do not want these mushy, okay? They're very explicit on that. When you simmer them for 15 minutes, you're just heating them up. You're not really cooking them. They're pretty much cooked already. But I am just thinking of an apple, you know, making a pie out of this fruit. The next video I do is what is served with this dish, which is polenta with currants and onions. So I just letting you know, so the next video is something that you serve with this. I'm definitely thinking of a dessert with this. You wanted a single layer. I'm going to put this aside just for a bit. So we've got a few more things we have to do, and then we're going to be taking care of it. Let me move you back over here so we can get things going here. All right, put my glasses. All right, now in that pot you're going to add 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. We're going to add pepper. We'll see if they tell us how much pepper they want. They say add pepper to taste. So I'm not going to be able to tell you how much. You're going to have to judge for yourself. We'll stir this around and we'll put the meat back in here again. And we're just going to simmer them like 5 to 10 minutes. We're not leaving them in there long. I know, a bit confusing, but we're getting it done. Am I going to put them on the same platter? Darn tootin'. Okay, now we're going to simmer this. I can tell you one thing, this is a bit on the messy side. This dish is definitely messy. Oh my God, I've been cleaning up behind myself as I do it. I'm also trying it. And I have to tell you, it's very unusual, but very nice. Okay, now we're going back to the quinces. We're just heating these up. The quinces, you're going to put 2 teaspoons of sugar on them. You're probably saying, what? Yes, you're going to put about 2 teaspoons. Now, you're going to set your oven to broil. Make sure the shelf is as high as it can get. We're going to let this run just a little bit and get it warm in there, and then we're going to caramelize these. So that's what we're doing. And then we'll get the polenta with the currants and onions that is served with this dish in the next video, because we'll be ending this one and moving forward to the next one. You might. So we're just warming the meat up, and that's all we're doing. It's already tender. We've been cooking it for hours. You can even look at it wants to fall apart. So we're doing very well. We just want to get this a little warm before we start here. Be careful with this. Now for people who aren't familiar with broiling, never, never, ever, never put glass there or anything that cannot handle that kind of heat, because the heat keeps growing and climbing and climbing and climbing. And if you put something in there, it's going to shatter. You're going to have a mess and you're not going to be able to eat your meal. So always, always be very careful. And you're probably saying, we're not that stupid. I know. I had a girlfriend. She did it, and she made a mess, and she had a lot to clean up in the oven. That's why you're always careful. Never, when you're broiling, sit there and put glass there. No. I'm going to have to watch those. So you're going to glaze them. They'll get like a candy on top. I'll show you when they're done. Okay, while the quinces are broiling and candying up, you need about 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley. And by the way, did you notice how I held the sugar up high and I sprinkled? That was to make sure the 2 teaspoons would cover everything. It seems, with the law of gravity, that if you hold it about this high above the meat, if you're salting and peppering, or if you're putting sugar, if you do like that, you get more of a uniform spread. All right, bringing that to your attention. Oh, these are looking nice. They are looking very nice. Take the meat back out, put it on the platter, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm gonna have to hustle a little because we got something coming. And I want to make sure that I get it all out. Oh, wait, I'll show you. It's just giving me some time. Okay, I am not doing any more of this. Oh, let me get this over here. Look at these. Okay, when you get the parsley out of the way, I'll bring the plate back over. I should say the platter. Put it down, and we're going to put these on. So see, as you can see, this is one big platter. cannot wait to have this. I know this is going to be good. Remember, when you're doing these, you don't want to broil them to the point of burning them. You're just giving that sweetness to it. Oh, that's hot. Well, I have to work with it anyway, if it's hot or not. I know you're saying, you're snitching. Yeah, of course I am. The privilege of being mothers. We get to do things like that. When you're in the kitchen, you would not believe what you can and cannot eat. That's before anybody gets to the table. That's it. That's the dish. So here it is. Now what are we going to do with the leftover gravy there? You're going to put it in a bowl and serve it so they can add more to the meal. There's not much, but there's a little bit that will finish going around and finishing up on everything. So that's all it is. Next video will be the side dish that goes with this. Take care, and I'll see you in a little bit.